Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a Switch/gaming my 2 cent video. This one a little bit more Switch related because there's a couple stuff that came out for the Nintendo Switch recently this week that caught a lot of people's attention, mostly the Nintendo Direct, and one that's non-Switch related, which I'm going to start to. And this one is sort of the controversy that has been going around recently. So why don't we get started with our first story, though. The first one is basically that came out recently is famous YouTuber PewDiePie recently came out and basically said the N-word during a live stream on one of the games he was playing. According to several articles, again, links are in the description below. Scroll on. Links are in the description below, including some videos of people making some voicing their opinion on it, though. Basically what happened was that he was playing a game. I'm not sure which one it was. Shoot, I forgot what the game was. Well, basically what happened was that during the live stream, basically he accidentally said the N-word. Now, I've seen the video numerous times, though, and while I do think it's while I do believe it's inappropriate that he said that word, I will say that it didn't come off as racist or anything. It came off as that he was pissed off or anything. Okay, still, I'm not saying I'm not saying that it was the right thing for him to say. I think it was a terrible word for him to say, but I didn't think it came off as racist. But in either case, this has sort of gotten some people upset on YouTube over ranging from this is the YouTube apocalypse happening again to the fact that now the ad apocalypse, to some people are saying that PewDiePie's a racist, to even one developer who developed the game Firewatch has filed a DMC takedown of some of his videos because they don't want to associate with him over this controversy. This isn't the first time PewDiePie has been in a controversy before. If you all remember, I think earlier this year, he did a video. We went to this company that's known to do these shock value stuff where he paid a bunch of people to hold up a sign that said, kill all the Jews, which caused some allegation of him being viewed as racist to going as far as Disney, and I think this company Maker decided to end like any more doing the YouTube Red Show scare PewDiePie whatsoever. And some people have come out accusing him, saying that he's like entitled, spoiled, and he's racist and so on. Now, as I said earlier, I've seen the video and so on, and I will say this. I'm not a fan of PewDiePie. I do not watch his videos. I'm not anything like that. I thought that joke where he has paid people to hold up a sign that said "kill all the Jews," I think was, again, it's his YouTube channel, but I think it was poor taste, and I think it was basically a stupid thing for him to do. And while I agree that he deserves the backlash for some of this, I think it was a dumb thing to say. I'm not sure about the takedown part. I'm not sure. I mean, I understand the company that made the game Firewatch that doesn't want to work with PewDiePie or anything like that. I understand if you don't want to do business with him or cut ties with him, that's fine. But when it comes to basically the whole issue with the takedown stuff, this is sort of where it gets a little tricky. I understand he doesn't want his product associated with anything like a streamer or anything that says controversial, but once you start going down to following takedown notices, that kind of goes into the same area that got with what Digital Homicide did against Jim Sterling and so on, and we all know how that played out and all. So I have to say, after seeing the whole video, I understand why some people are overreacting, but at the same time, I can understand why some people are upset about this, and at the same time, I do feel, or at least with PewDiePie, I do feel that he's being I feel like because he's this big YouTube star, I feel like the success has sort of kind of gone to his head. I mean, I will admit, I do feel like he comes off as being like, I'm a big celebrity, I'm entitled to this and that and this and that, though. But as far as him being racist or not, I don't know. I really don't know if he is really racist or anything like that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he does this just for shock value, which again, that's what he wants to do. That's his channel and all. I think it's terrible when you do something like that, but you know what? That's his channel though. The bottom line is that I will admit it was a dumb thing for him to say. It's stupid, it's idiotic, and I really think it was a very bad thing for him to say it though. But based on what I saw from the video, and I know some will disagree with me on this, I just don't see it in the way of it being racist though, because considering the fact that there are a lot of people who probably have streamed and have said something like that, or gone on an online multiplayer match and said something like that that is sort of, you know, poor taste and inappropriate. Yeah, so PewDiePie isn't the only person who has said this. So, but yes, it was a dumb thing to do that and all. And if the developers of Firewatch want to cut business ties with him, that's their call, and that's any business's call though. But following, you know, having a takedown notice on, like, take down the videos of him with him, you know, talking about their games or anything like that, that's a slippery slope right there. That's a very slippery slope. And after seeing what happened with the digital homicide issue, I'm not sure if that's a smart move or not. So, look, I'm not a PewDiePie fan or anything like that. I think what he said was idiotic, yes, but you know what? It's his channel. He can do whatever he wants. And if business don't want to sponsor him anymore, that's their call. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about some info that has finally come out about Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch, and we've had an official release date on it. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent Switch gaming video for this week. And for the second part, we are going to be talking about Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. So as some of you are probably aware of right now, we had the Nintendo Direct that revealed some information about Skyrim. We have an official release date, but more information has come out. And while there are several articles, I'll have a link in the description that you could read about. This one from, if I could get it up, comicbook.com points out a bit more about it though. It says, during yesterday's Nintendo Direct presentation, we learned that the Elder Scrolls Skyrim will be coming to Nintendo Switch on November 17th. Most of us didn't need any more information, we're sold. The picker among you have been wondering whether or not this version of Skyrim will be based off the special edition or not. The question of mods have come up frequently as well since the PS4 and Xbox One version of Skyrim Special Edition had limited mod support though. So there are some good news and bad news about this. The good news, according to this article, is according to Bethesda's official site, the version of Skyrim we're getting on the Nintendo Switch is fact based on the Special Edition. That's good. That's good. I like that. We have pretty good feeling that it was because of the lighting and texture. Okay, it looks much improved over the Xbox 360 and PS3 version. The performance also looked pretty rock solid with stable frame rate in every recent gameplay video in third and first person view. Although I did remember seeing photos of supposedly the box art that had, you know, all the DLCs on it, so I would assume that was it, even though they're not calling it a special edition. So, and then of course there's the bad news. And the bad news is that Skyrim on Switch will not have mod support, not out of the box anyway. US Gamers Matt Kim asked Pete Hines, Hines, specifically about mod support. Not at this time was his response. The door isn't completely shut, but if I were you guys, I wouldn't get my hopes up anytime soon. So overall, it sounds like this one there's both good and bad. Good news is that it looks like it will be based off of the special edition, which will have all the DLCs, which if accurate though, that is good, and the fact that it's coming out November 17th, so that's definitely a big one. The mod support, however, that's going to depend on your point of view. Some people are going to either like it, or some people either care about mods, or some people don't really care about it at all. So the announcement that they're not bringing any mod support, at least not right now, somewhat disappointed, but I'm not losing sleep over it. While I'm not against people using mods or anything like that, to me, they aren't an important feature at all. For me, though, okay? I understand some people do like to enjoy using mods and so on, and that's fine. I mean, everyone has their own preference, their own taste, and so on. So, but while it's not sounding like they're shutting the door completely, it doesn't sound like we're getting it anytime soon. Now, I don't know whether or not Nintendo has a policy of some sort, whether they will allow mods or not. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens down the road if that happens or not. So it sounds like I said, it's not shutting the door completely, but currently there is no plans to bring mods to the Switch version of Skyrim. However, we do know that the Switch version of Skyrim will support amiibos, as we've seen in some of the footage, where you could basically scan, I think, a Zelda or a Link amiibo to get the Hyrule Master Sword and Shield. So maybe that will replace sort of the mods things or not, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I'm very looking forward to trying out Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch. It'll be very interesting to see how well that game does, especially with 2 other games, which I'm going to get to the third part on, that Bethesda is bringing. So overall, I'm happy with what we're hearing about Skyrim. The mod support, somewhat disappointed, but not something I'm going to lose sleep over. But again, like I said, some people are okay with mods not being available. Others have different issues about it, though. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, I'll give my quick thoughts on the Nintendo Direct that came out, plus the 2 big announcements that I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm going to be referring to on that one. A really big announcement that has got a lot of people shocked. I mean, when I heard it, when I saw it and heard it, well, my jaw just dropped when I never thought it would come, but it did. So take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the third and final part of our My Choose Scent video for this week, and this one is about the Nintendo Direct. As we know, that came out this week, and it was a doozy one, though, about 45 minutes long, at least the one over here in the US, unlike in Japan, where they had an extra 5 minutes because they announced Phantasy Star Online 2 for just the Japan Switch audience for now, with microtransactions and so on. So basically, rather than give you a rundown of everything, I'll have a link in the description of this video. You can take a look at those at yourself. I'll give you a rundown of what I liked, what I really enjoyed, though, coming off the Nintendo Switch. So, a quick rundown for what I enjoyed the most, though. The remake of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga will be out on October 6th, and we'll have amiibo support. So that's amiibo support is kind of a mix. You can see however you want to look at that. So, even though I'm not a big Pokemon fan, I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to the new Ultra Beast and Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So Pokemon fans for the 3DS will be happy about that one. Surprisingly, Minecraft is coming to the new Nintendo 3DS, not the old one. That's available to download. It doesn't look that bad. Obviously, since I have it on the Switch, I have no desire to pick it up on the new 3DS, though. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, one I am definitely looking forward to. Launches, I think, December 1st, so that's definitely a big one for me. Fire Emblem Warriors on October 20th, that one's there. Project Octopath Traveler, they talked a bit about that, and a demo of the game is out. Downloaded that on the Switch, tried it out for a little bit, and it's fun. I love the 2D art style in that one. HD 2D is what they call it. In fact, the whole graphical art style kind of reminds me a little bit of I think it was 2011, I'm not sure, but the PS3 hit, or cult hit though, 3D Dot Hero. I don't know what the heck that sound was. We also now got more information about Super Mario Odyssey, ranging from a Switch bundle that will be out, and that will come with 2 red Joy-Cons. And we learned about the 2 new kingdoms that we will be able to explore. One's a tropical paradise, one is a frozen wasteland. We also now heard that there's going to be about 600 moons to find. That's a lot. I'm sure a lot of people who are going to do speed runs are going to do that one though. And of course, we have the internet going crazy over the fact that we have a shirtless Mario with, pardon my language for saying this, man nipples, and everyone is just freaking completely losing their mind over this. I mean, literally completely losing their mind over the fact that Mario, that we have a with man nipples. Why they're losing their mind over this is not. I don't know. Internet, it can be very interesting, all right? But the big announcement, the big one that caught me by surprise and sort of had my jaw dropped on it, was the announcement that Bethesda is bringing Doom and Wolfenstein to the new Colossus to the Nintendo Switch. I was literally shocked when I heard that news. I did not think that game would come to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, I always wanted it. I always thought the idea of bringing Doom 2016 on the go on the Switch, I always thought when Bethesda first announced that we're bringing Skyrim for the Switch, I always thought it would be great if Doom would come. I don't know if that would ever happen or not, but seeing it right there, I thought, oh my god, really? Really? Now, ever since that announcement, more information has come out, and some more questions have come out about that release. According to Engage, we now have some little bit more information though. Basically, Bethesda told Engage that the Switch port of Doom will have all the updates and DLC, which that's good, from the original game except for the snap map level editor, which, again, depending on your view, either that's good or bad, or you really don't care. It is a little disappointing that snap editor level editor is not going to be there. Maybe it will be released down the road, but who knows. It's also worth noting that the physical version of the game will only include the single player campaign on the game cartridge due to the size constraint. To play multiplayer online, user will need to download a free update to do it. Kind of sort of similar to what Resident Evil Revelation is doing on the Switch, where we'll get the first game, and for the second game you gotta download that one. Download it. I'm sure there'll probably be a free DLC code in there or something like that. Naturally, users that choose the digital only copy and will get the whole package in one, which again, not bad, but obviously that's going to take up a lot of storage space, so you may have to consider buying a really good micro SD card. And I think that's something that Switch owners are going to have to get used to as we see more of these big games. If we want these big games to come over, this is something we're going to have to get used to until Nintendo finds a way, or the price of putting these games in these cartridges go down. This is the option we're going to have to run with, though. It may not be the greatest option in the world. I know not everyone's a big fan of it, but it is the only option we have at this moment, to say the least. Hopefully this is a problem Nintendo will address down the road. Now, some snapshots have come out of the game, and based on what the snapshots I've seen, it looks actually good. I mean, it doesn't look that bad on the Switch. Obviously, it's not going to look good as it did on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro or Xbox One, or even when it comes on the Xbox One X, or hell, it's probably not going to look as nearly as good as, say, like on the PC. So let's clearly get that out of the way from right there, though. But I'm actually impressed that they were able to bring it over. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, yeah, there are some shots where the game looks a little bit darker than the PS4 version, though. But overall, I am very pleased with the way the game looks, though. I think the big question to me is going to be, will it run at 60 frames per second? For those who are not familiar, when Doom was in development, when Bethesda and it were basically putting out, this game's going to run at 1080p, 60 frames per second on your consoles. That's what they were pushing for. I'm a little curious to see if they're going to be able to do that on the Nintendo Switch. Will it be able to run at 60 frames per second when either docked or whether in portable or tablet mode? And in dock mode, we'll be able to achieve that 1080p 60 frames per second. When it's in tablet or portable modes, obviously it's going to be 720p no matter how you look at it, though. Or will there be a graphical option or a frame rate option where you play it at a lower resolution but still maintain that 60 frames per second? So I am a little curious to see how that's going to work out, though. But it appears as though, based on that and the announcement of Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus or Coliseum, if I'm saying the name correctly, though, which will be out on 2018, there's been no snapshots about that one. It does appear to me, though, that Bethesda's really putting some time and effort into bringing these games over to the Switch, and it brings me to the next thing. I mean, I'm glad they're putting effort into these games, but the big question, and I said this before with LA Noire, and I'm probably going to say it here, is will it sell? Are Nintendo fans willing to pick up these games, though? And I will say that Bethesda, at least for what I've seen so far, has hit a lot of the right notes to convince people to pick up the Switch versions of these games. So I think they've done a really good job with it. But we're going to have to wait and see how this turns out. This holiday season is going to be a big test for a lot of third-party developers, though, particularly with 2K bringing out NBA 2K and WWE 2K18. Bethesda with Skyrim, Doom, and even with Wolfenstein next year. It's going to be very interesting to see how well those games do. If they sell very well, we could see more support like this, though. But again, that's sort of the big question. Will they sell well? Will people be willing to pick this up, the Switch version? Is what Bethesda and 2K doing enough to convince people to pick up the Switch version of their game? Are consumers willing to bite the bullet and deal with the whole micro SD card situation and willing to upgrade from the 32 gigabyte that's in the Nintendo Switch to get that high SD card? I mean, that's going to be the big thing right here. So I'm excited that they're bringing those two games over. I'm glad they're putting time and effort into it, but I do wonder, is it enough? Is it enough to convince people to buy this game? I will end it off by saying that I'm not here to convince you to go out and buy the game, though. You can make your own decision. I don't want to be that kind of person. But I will say if we want to see more games like this, though, I mean, then the support needs to be there. We need to see the sales number have to be there for these developers. Like it or not, they need to see the numbers. And if the numbers are there, they're going to think, you know, there's a market. Maybe we could put more of these games out the road. I'm hoping Doom and Skyrim sells very well, even though they're late ports. I do hope they do sell well, even with Wolfenstein, because I would love to see Bethesda bring other games over, like the Dishonored series, like Prey, like Fallout, like The Evil Within as well. And same with 2K. I hope that WWE 2K and NBA 2K sells well enough that maybe it will convince them to bring maybe some of their other games over. Civilization, XCOM, Bioshock Collection, the Borderlands series. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the sales numbers for this holiday season for these games. So same with Rockstar with LA Noire. Yes, it's a late game. It's a late game and all, but hopefully it'll sell well enough. Maybe it might convince them to think, let's see about bringing Red Dead Redemption 2, or maybe bringing Grand Theft Auto 5 as well. So we'll have to wait and see. So bottom line is that my fingers are crossed. Hopefully these games sell well enough that will convince them to stick around, though. But again, it's going to come down to the sales number. But overall, I was very surprised by this announcement, very pleased by this announcement. So, but now the big thing is the sales number. Are they there? Is this enough to convince them for this game to sell very well? Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion, but what are yours? What are your thoughts about the PewDiePie controversy, though? Do you think people are blowing it out of proportion? Do you think he does deserve to be criticized about this? Do you really care about it? Do you not really care about this latest PewDiePie controversy? What are your thoughts about the Switch version of Skyrim? Are you looking forward to it? Or have you played the game a billion times? It's not worth your time and effort? Does the fact that it's not going to have mod support, at least not right now, does that impact your purchase of Skyrim for the Switch? Does it not impact your purchase of Skyrim on the Switch? Excuse me. And what about basically the Nintendo Direct? Were you happy with what you saw? Were you not happy? Did it live up to your expectations? Did it not live up to your expectations? And what about the big announcement of Doom and Wolfenstein 2 coming to the Nintendo Switch? Were you surprised by this announcement? Were you not surprised by this announcement? Are you looking forward to those games coming over? Are you not looking forward to it? And what about the screenshots about Doom on the Switch so far? Are you pleased with what you're seeing? Are you not pleased with what you're seeing? Do you have concerns about the game? Certain issues you have, or don't have any certain issues? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Did you disagree with what I said? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, excuse me. Also, feel free to share this video if you like to, and if you wish, feel free to donate to my channel. You could do it through either PayPal me or through Patreon. Again, links will be in the description of this video. You can check it out there. It's about to get evening here in Southern California, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, for Southern California, I wish you all a good evening. Bye!